All right. Hey guys, it's two guys T and D, and I'm Harry.
Hello, I'm Lionel. I'll mute myself right as you do your intro.
And we're going back to Call of Cthulhu 7th edition to sort of say what we thought after. Lionel ran a couple of games on here, and I ran one on a home group because I just don't have the time to run as many games anymore. It's unfortunate, but my schedule is settling down, so I'll be able to run some more games when we choose our next game to go for next time. So, Lionel, why don't you sort of start as you ran more games?
Right.
Did you think GMing was, like, for Call of Cthulhu was easy? Let's just start with that.
Yes, I'll say yes because I thought the rule system itself was rules light. I mean, so we did the 7th edition quick start rules that you can get for free. You can download the PDF and you print it off, and you can pretty much start playing it with really quick read. It's like 30 something pages. So to run it, pretty easy. The rules are, I'm a D&D player, so anytime I play a rule set that isn't like D&D-esque, it is kind of a strain, a change to the brain to get used to it. But I thought it was pretty good. It really supported a narrative-based game, which I think is what the flavor of Call of Cthulhu is. I was a bit anxious because it's really tough. I think horror is probably one of the toughest kind of feels to get in a game, but I was pretty pleased with the couple of games I ran. So it was pretty easy.
Yeah, when I GM'd my game for my home group, it was really simple to actually just do anything. I ran the sort of preset module out of the full rulebook, which actually thought was okay, because normally sort of those usual like modules aren't great. Certainly not great compared to anything like people could actually come up with. But I thought the story was good. The actual sort of build up, that slow build up to that big reveal of just horror, was great. The sort of difficulty of the game is sort of spot on, I feel. You can throw just like equal numbers or less on one side of the players, and if they actually get into combat, there's a high chance that they'll die or they'll kill the other guys just instantly. It's really down to that one lucky roll.
Yeah. It's definitely a very gritty game, I think. I think if someone is used to playing high fantasy where they're this great hero, maybe Call of Cthulhu is not the game for you. But if you want to play a game where the odds are really stacked against you, but it's really fun, I think Call of Cthulhu might be a good fit. But and the build-up, I think, is really key. That's what I found. So in the two games that I ran, it's like finding that pacing where you're slowly giving these little clues to your players, and they're finding out more and more, because in Cthulhu they're called investigators. So clearly you want to give them this sense where they're trying to figure something out, like something happened or they heard something or whatever it might be, and then they're slowly trying to figure it out. You just kind of slowly like pulling back these curtains and revealing more and more and building up for, like you said, that big reveal.
Yeah, and I actually played as a player in one of your games, which unfortunately didn't record because Google Hangouts just sort of fell over. But yeah, I had almost no idea what that big reveal was going to be. But I could just feel it coming, kind of inching closer. So I was just waiting for it to sort of happen. I may as well spoil it because no one can actually watch it. So you started off with this murder, with sort of that slow reveal of perhaps there's some cult behind it. Not quite sure yet. There was some disease we don't know of. And then as we found these cultists and followed them and sort of saw what they do, we smelt their shoes for some reason. I can't exactly remember. Looking for blood. That was it. And then we went into the cargo hold of the Titanic, and discovered this and watched them sort of pry open this box to get a gem, and then suddenly the gem starts producing this big red mist, and everything just shit hits the fan. And just zombies on the Titanic. I mean, who would expect that? And then, the iceberg hit, and we had to escape. That was really, really, really good. The ending was very quick because the combat is quite simple. You're just rolling opposed, very, very easy. It makes combat very lethal because there's 2 chances that you could die each combat, just each round. Is your turn the enemy's turn.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I think it's if you're old school game players that are used to like armor class and hit points and stuff. I think that that's definitely one of the things that seems kind of foreign, because I think that that's a reaction players have, is like, what you mean?
You mean I died on my turn?
I'm almost dead. Yeah, so there is that the combat mechanic. Yeah, it was. For me, I think it's one of those systems. The more you play it, the more fluid it can be. So I was lucky because I had, in both of the games I ran, I had one player that had logged a lot of time playing Call of Cthulhu. So I definitely asked them, and I encouraged them to definitely jump in and say, oh, this is a rule, or this is how it would typically play out. And I think that helped the mechanic wise of the game. Yeah. But actually the running the game wise, the building the story or whatever, I mean, both of the games I ran, I just made them up.
Yeah. I mean, what's great is, I mean, a lot of the time, unless you're running a pre-made module like I did, you can just sort of make the story up as the players try and figure whatever they're thinking out. And that's the beauty. You can just sort of make the story as the players fail and succeed on each of their roles. So yeah, I managed to kill all of my players. It wasn't my fault. They decided to run in and be like D&D players, thinking, yeah, we can take on 5 zombies. There's 4 of us. Nope. Because 2 of those zombies ran off and got guns. Because they were still intelligent zombies. Which sort of reminds me of the Roll Up and Die podcast I was listening to yesterday, one of the old ones. Make your zombies intelligent. It's way scarier when they start picking up guns and shooting them. Yeah, I think hopefully if we play again, they'll start thinking more like investigators and less like D&D players.
Yeah.
Because the opening sort of challenge, the encounter for them wasn't meant to be lethal. They got shot at by a hunter. It was an accident, and then they decided to shoot back and almost kill the guy in front of his kid. poor thing. So that was very amusing, but it's really funny to see D&D players play Call of Cthulhu, but they need to. That's like the important part. You need to get into that mindset. You're really not gonna kill much. This is about getting scared and learning that story, creating that story together. It's not about killing stuff. I mean, if you try, you're just going to go insane. So,
yeah. Call of Cthulhu is the game when you see that big baddie, you don't try to fight it. You try to get away from it, survive to maybe tell others about the evil that's been unleashed or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that reflects in the stats of some of the old gods. I mean, I'm not sure why they gave the old gods stats, but because there's no way you can kill them, because a lot of their moves are just pick up 3 adventurers, insta-kill them. There's no rolling of the dice. You just pick them up and kill them. So, I mean, if you're really going to try and be a D&D player against Cthulhu himself, it's not going to work.
Right. So Harry, so Call of Cthulhu, a game you would run or play again?
It's a game that I want to run a campaign for. What's great is there's just so much stuff out there that you can just use to make games. I mean, you could just look at events of history like you did with the Titanic and made it scary. There's, the whole of the X-Files, just all 10 seasons. You can take an episode and make it into like a sort of cult mythos type thing, or even just sort of keep it the same. There's just all sorts that you can take. There's a lot of murder mysteries. You can make that Call of Cthulhu easy. There's definitely a lot of things you can run, and it's in the real world, so there's not so much world building you have to do. So the sort of GM prep before you have the game is not as big. Like, especially if you D&D, you most often have a homebrew world. It takes a lot of effort. Call of Cthulhu is in the 1920s usually, or the modern times, or even the Victorian era. There's, you just sort of know that generally. A bit of research will help, but pretty easy to run a game in the 1920s.
Yeah, you can definitely just grab your players, your investigators, and just drop them in any time, on any timeline through history, and makes that really easy for sure. I definitely would, and actually want to run a few more games of it. I'm not sure if I want to. I don't know if I have the time to run a full-on campaign. I don't even know how long a campaign lasts in Cthulhu. I get my sense is it wouldn't last really long.
Well,
unless there's like a lot of really good build-up.
Chad was telling me a game that Matt ran for his home group, which Chad is part of, where they did, I think, like 10 or so sessions, but each session was divided by years or months. So the investigators would investigate this one thing and then go back to whatever their job was, go into therapy if they needed it, and then come back and do another investigation. So really, it can go on for as long as you want, and just sort of say, oh, there's only 3 months between this investigation and that investigation. So it's sort of, that's almost playing it like a series of one-shots, but just bringing back the same character, which I quite like the idea of. Because it also means that if you've got more than 4 players in your group, and you can just sort of bring in people and out people, depending on if they can come or not. So I like that. So you can run it quite infrequently, but still be part of the same campaign.
Yeah. Actually, now you mentioned it, that really does support that drop in, drop out style of play, which I think people sometimes look to have. You might have that one consistent player, but then you have others dropping in and dropping out for different episodes. Yeah, that would actually be a nice way of actually doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, a campaign for 2 people. You could have them as the 2 police detectives, partners, like investigating crimes, and then maybe you want, someone to come in and join them. Perhaps, a forensics guy can come in and help, and that'll be another player you could add in for that session.
Right. So or really, Jamie, or the great thing about Cthulhu is it's that poor bystander that just gets drawn into the story, and all of a sudden they're an investigator. Yeah,
exactly.
That's perfect. All right, great. So I think that's a wrap for Call of Cthulhu, at least the 7th edition. And I think we'll throw down below, we'll put a link to the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game Facebook group. And also, always, if you're not part of the OSG on Facebook, which is the one-shot group, then what do you think? What are you waiting for? Get in there, because you'll see Cthulhu games, other games, all kinds of other games being posted. Or maybe you want to run one yourself and you're looking for players. So definitely, we can throw the link for that. And so let's wrap this up.
So Call of Cthulhu, great game, great system, really fun to play. And you can just jump straight into it with those quick start rules.
Yeah,
you can just read through it once, and it all goes in. It's just rolling that D100, those 2D10s. Really, really, really simple, and I really like it. I want to go back to it again.
Right, excellent. So that's a thumbs up for me. It's a thumbs up for Harry.
Big thumbs up.
If you have a chance, play it. I think you won't be disappointed. As always, if you like the video, just hit the like button. If you don't like it, hey, hit that one too. And if you haven't subscribed, give us a sub. If you have a channel you want us to check out, just put it in comments.
Yep. Right. Keep on drinking.